here we are. It's Thursday and we are just making a start in the rape. So this is just a small little field, but what is quite interesting is how green the clover is behind the combine. It doesn't seem to be affecting moisture at the moment, so that's nice. There are green patches in this, like this down this tram line. It's not particularly nice, but we're quite worried about the storm that's due over the weekend, so we've decided that we're going to take the hit and just get this combine. One interesting point about this new technique is stubble management. You can see the white heads of the clover there. I'm not sure whether we shouldn't get some sheep in rather than stubble raking, but that's something to think about. As far as yield goes, it's not doing too good, around 2 tons. But I suppose that is 2 tons with effectively no nitrogen and no fungicides. So I haven't spent a lot on this crop except for the seed. So it'll be a lot more interesting to see what the margins are for this crop going forward. £500 a tonne, it certainly adds up. Right, it's Sunday afternoon. We finished doing a little bit of combining and I just wanted to share the results with you. And this was something that I started thinking about as I sat on the combine, was what's our point of reference? Historically, I suppose we would be looking for 3 tons a hectare, and this really came back to me when I was on my way to the rugby club to watch the Lions game and meet up with a few farming friends, and they would obviously ask me, have I done any combining, and then they would ask me what my yield was. Now, one of the issues I have as for this regenerative land is my point of reference. Historically, we would want 3 tons a hectare or more. But what are we looking for in a regenerative system? So I thought probably the best place to start would be a break-even calculation. So that's what I'm sharing with you here. And basically, assuming our costs are 374 per hectare, that includes grain cart and combining. Then, assuming rape is saleable at £450 a tonne, I was just having a look at the futures prices, then realistically that gives us a break-even tonnage of just over 800 kilos a hectare, which is eminently achievable even in the regenerative system. So, as I can share with you here in this slide, we've achieved an average of 3.5 tons over 7.5 hectares that we combined before the rain. So not very big area, and that was combined area that I could get maps out of. It's not the whole area we combined, so it's a best case scenario, but even at 800 kilos, there's plenty of potential to make a profit there. So overall, quite pleased with the start of harvest. It is a major mind shift change to these lower yields and lower costs, but it's certainly something interesting, an interesting new way of measuring performance. So earlier this morning I also walked around some of our earlier wheats, so I will show you some footage from that. although it's a very misty Sunday day. The wheat tramlines are still green. This is Fredericia, grown on contract for Glencore. It's a Hungarian wheat. As you can see, the straw's still green, bit of green in the ears, but certainly harvest is fast approaching. This is another field of Fredericia, and this was drilled, I think it was the 20th of October, and it was one of the errors of the year. The drill followed the sheep out, and we've just come to the conclusion that certainly in a wet year the sheep do seem to damage the immediate surface. Our thesis is that the worms come up and open the channels up when they come up for the sheep muck, but if you drill too close to the sheep movement, you don't get the benefit and you get patchy germination. And we actually had a trade test from this earlier in the year, and this field had the lowest establishment of this block. So that's certainly a lesson going forward. But they, I would say, are a good fortnight off. Generally, we consider rape harvest to start on, or we plan for rape harvest to start on the 25th of July. So we're still well ahead of schedule, and a good 2 weeks away from starting any wheat. But please give the channel a thumbs up, or give this video a thumbs up, and click on the subscribe button, the little bell, and it really helps keep the channel going. So thank you very much, everybody. See you next week.